president. Turn on the mic. Well, put it closer to your mouth.
Is that better? Ooh. We finally got it to work. Whoa. St. Margaret Villalobos is our vice president. Kelly Collette is our secretary. Mary Bonick is our treasurer. Other board members, Sandy Kunis, I can't remember what everyone's for, scholarships. Nikki Burtz is committees, and the shed. Who's here? Is Gay here?
Yes, Gay.
Oh, Gay is here.
No, not membership.
Sunshine. I'm sorry, I have all my words. Kat's not here. I don't see Kat. Michelle's here, philanthropic. Lainey's here, our membership. I think that's all the members, board members that are here. Oh, here's Jane for our invocation.
I like to make an entrance.
Good job.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank Yvonne for filling in for me last month and announce that I am resigning because I'm moving.
Make that announcement.
And Yvonne is going to be taking my place. So thank you very much, Yvonne. Where are you? I didn't recognize her. So, St. Paul in his letters always wishes his people peace. And then he thanks everybody for sharing their unique God-given gifts, which they share with the community. And so I would like to thank our new officers because I didn't get a chance to do that last month. They share their time and talent every month with us. And anyway, they are the glue that hold us together too. Thank you.
Thank you. There's lots of glue.
So at this time, first of all, I am the inspirationalist, and I want to tell you all that I'm mostly inspired by all of you. But today I want to focus on Ruthie Burke. So she is such an esteemed and hardworking member of our community. The attitude of gratitude is very important to our club, and we heartily want to thank you, Ruthie, for all your efforts to keep us all safe. We ask God to bless you and give you courage and perseverance. And so we pray for endurance and resilience and an indomitable spirit, one that will empower you to persevere, adapt, and never, ever give up. Amen. God bless you, Ruthie.
Our checking account balance. The secretary report is from Kelly.
So I emailed out the minutes, I had a couple of corrections. I sent out the corrected minutes yesterday. Were there any other corrections? No, so we need a motion to approve the corrected minutes. Thank you, Sandy.
Motion
Anybody?
made, second it.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? Everyone's approved the way it is? Okay. All in favor? Approved minutes as is? Any opposed? Motion carried. Yeah, forgot to do all this last minute, right? So I even wrote it down. Okay, Kathy's on vacation, so Margaret's gonna do the retail shop update.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Margaret. For
numbers.
Second time.
Second time, very good. Okay. Okay, Kathy's on vacation, obviously, so I'm the boss lady, so thank you for bearing with me, for the volunteers. So basically, the shop is experiencing a full transition. So we are going into the holidays, and so the entire store is transforming with holiday decor, holiday everything. So it's if you don't like glitter, don't go in there, okay?
Besides,
This is my second one.
for second meeting. Introduce yourself again, so we all know you.
Oh, I'm Denise Carbonero Saracena.
Christina Batchelder.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, committee updates. I didn't put the fall festival on here, but I want to talk about it. Jenny was in this morning. Even though we're not doing a booth, they would like some help. So there is a sign up over there for fall festival. They really would like people, even if you just donate a half-hour time. So let me know if you assign it, and then Jenny will help.
To do what?
Just to help in get the booths or help the schools.
Oh, we're not doing anything.
We're not doing it ourselves.
It's October 18th, so I'll give you some details. All right, so it's a fall festival at Vasquez High. Jenny is, she's one of the member volunteers who's helping organize the fall festival. So she is asking all of us, since we don't have one particular booth, she's asking all of us to spare at least a half hour of time, 4 hours, whatever time you have on October 18th, from the hours from 2 to 6 p.m. That's a Saturday. And all, volunteer the hours that you're gonna help can range. So it's either helping at a booth or keeping kids in order, or just, there's other ways. She also mentioned that you can also bake a cake and decorate it, and it'll be for a silent auction. So if you just wanna bake and bring something in, let her know. So Jenny's phone number is 661-860-7448. It's Jenny, 661-860-7448. One more time, 661-860-7448, and that's Jenny.
What's her last name, do you know?
Narciso?
I'm sure that our last name, correct?
She
Yes.
came early and dropped off her cookies
Yeah.
and then had to leave.
I'll have her
She's
stop.
been there.
She's a brand new member, but very
Yes.
nice, very active, very dependable as well. So please help out. I know I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna give her a call and just see what I can do. Fantastic, very good. Okay, questions? Okay, very good.
Okay, Sandy, the fall luncheon committee. Any updates?
Hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. I noticed that the sign-up sheet is still out there, but we basically have our committee formed and people with their assignments, and they're doing them. So, we don't really need to expand our committee at this stage of the game. We are going to have our luncheon on the 12th, as you know, November 12th. I urge you all to bring friends, and so we fill the room. We're going to have the school. I think 12 people from our school district are going to be here. In addition, they come every fall, and they pay for their own tickets. We are going to have rattlers for our food, and we will find out today who are recognizing, who are honoring, and that will be fun to and go from there to decorate, etc. Though our theme is fall. And I believe that the main person that needs to speak to you now is Nikki, who is doing our raffle.
Good morning, ladies. So if you've ever attended one of our fall luncheons, it's kind of a break even on the ticket sales and the food, but we do make an income on our raffle. And if you haven't been there, Nancy, Harrison, and myself work really, really hard doing it. It's fun. We have a live auction. We did it last year. It worked great. So here's some dates that you'll need to write down, but I'm gonna start with. The Women's Club is always made up, we call them baskets, but now we call them donations, and that's great. But also, we also will accept monetary donations, and that can be accepted today, check, cash, whatever, What we do with that money is Nancy and I go out and go shopping, we buy big ticket items for our silent auction, and if we need to filler for the regular tables of gifts, we purchase more. Last year, I think we had, when I go out and solicit money from all the businesses enacted, last year I think we even just put like, we got to raffle off $2 $100 bills or something like that. We make it fun. So if anyone wants to do a monetary donation to me, to the Women's Club, but I'll be accepting them today, or call me, it can be cash or check. If you're doing a gift donation, I will need a list of what you will be donating by November 5th, that's next meeting. You can put it on a little index card and give it to me. You don't have to bring me your basket that day. If you'd like to next meeting, that's fabulous, but if you don't have it like put together or, to display, you can bring it on Monday when we're setting up, which would be, I have it on here somewhere. What's Monday?
Monday the 10th.
The 10th, thank you. At 3 o'clock, we will all be in here decorating. We will be setting up our area because it has to be set up before the luncheon. It's just too much. So back to the index cards, you can email or text me. My name's all over all the Women's Club stuff. Because we make little cards that go on the little bags to explain, itemize what's in each donation items. So that's really important because we have to put that on a computer and get that all done before the luncheon. Let's see. So again, reiterate monetary donations. I need baskets or your index card of what your donation is going to be by next luncheon. And the cutoff date for that would be November 5th. I think that's it. Any questions? Yes.
Time's the luncheon.
11 o'clock. November 12th, 11
I
o'clock.
did put a few flyers up here that I got printed. I guess I should have brought more. You can look at it or take the last one or something like that. I will also be going around town, putting the flyers out starting next week and trying to collect as much as I can. I go to Palmdale. All our businesses are very generous. We list their names in our pamphlet, that's not
Program.
I always call it the wrong thing. Program, which acknowledges, gives them recognition, and they're very generous, so it's great. We'll have a silent auction with some large ticket items, and we started that last year, and it was really fun. I mean, people were standing on the tables.
Except it wasn't silent.
I just want to
It
know
was
if
a live auction.
if Tom's gonna be doing. his-
My husband will be doing the live auction.
It's not a silent auction.
Silent, that's not a silent,
It's
not a silent auction. It's a live auction.
It was fun.
And everyone was screaming and carrying on, and it's really fun.
What time is the setup the day before?
Monday at 3.
Yes, I'd like to clarify that.
That's fine.
That schedule. Monday is to bring your raffle items only. That is not getting the whole room ready. That's just raffle. The raffle tables will be set up, she'll be accepting them, etc. So you'll bring it in and probably leave.
Yes, and let's make it, I don't know, put it on my calendar.
3 to 5
3
is
to
what we
5,
said.
perfect.
Tuesday, the 11th is what you need to hear, everybody needs to hear. At 3 o'clock, we will be setting up the room, the decorations, whatever we need to do. The raffle will be pretty much hopefully done and set up. But we have to come and set the table, do all that stuff that we do. Any of the newcomers who've never done this, we use linen, it's a lovely, lovely auction. Real dishes we have, real silverware. So it's very, very nice. So just make a note of Tuesday at 3 p.m. We'll send this out on a mass blast. And then Wednesday's the luncheon at 12 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
I mean 12. I said 12,
11
and then
o'clock.
I said 12 servers, and I said 12. So 11. We have servers from the high school coming to serve our luncheon. So, any questions?
Is the community club doing something for
Pardon?
Veterans Day? Is the community?
No, we do Memorial Day.
Oh,
We just do Memorial Day, yes.
How much are the tickets gonna be?
$35, the same as they've been for the
Good
last
point.
Okay.
couple of years. And that's the important thing that I keep not saying. This is the ticket center over here. Get your tickets today for shopping spree and your admission, and for the ones you're going to sell. And Joanne and Kathleen and Carrie have them over
And
here.
so how many spree tickets are we gonna get?
You get what you ask for. We used to have a certain number, but you get what you ask for. For those of you who are new, we have a $500 shopping spree. Tickets are $5 each. It's an easy sell, and somebody wins cash.
And you sell only a certain number, right?
And we only have a certain number of tickets. 300. Any other questions?
Oh, I have another thing.
Yes.
Nancy was always my wonderful helper at this event, and now she's president, and be very, very busy. So if anyone would like to help the day of setting up the baskets, I'm not the decorative person, I'm the collector, and Nancy was the decorator. So if anyone would like to just come that Monday and
I'll
help.
help you.
Perfect, good job, thank you.
Take it.
Perfect.
Are you putting the baskets together on Monday?
No, we just, we
you'll
don't
have
put
them all
that
together.
baskets
Okay,
together.
that's right.
Right,
And
that's
if
part
you
of
need
it.
baskets, you can go to the women's retail store and buy them.
I had a question. I don't get them all, I'm not sure. Last year there was wine and somebody, Nancy, I think, did the permit. Are you
Yes.
doing that?
Yes, we do permit, and we are going to have, we're planning to have mimosas this year, per request. We're taste testing afterwards, just the committee.
You should have started with that, your whole committee list would be full.
Okay, anything else on fall luncheon? Next up, membership, lady.
But there will be next month, so if you're here today, be sure to come next month. And, well, because then you get the ceremony, if we approve of you, which we usually do. Yeah. I'm gonna be making an updated email list, and please, those of you that already have the email list as a group, please check it. There's some deletions and there'll be additions, because I think there's like 70 or so new email with the new additions, with a total of 70. So when you get my email list, I'll list down the new ones, but add them to your present email list so you have a correct list. That's all.
Thank you, Lane. Okay, philanthropic, Michelle.
Well, we've been kind of busy. I wanted to start out by letting you know last Friday, we, the principals from the middle school and the high school, I gave them a tour of the shop and the warehouse. They flipped. They could absolutely not believe it. They were overwhelmed by the shop, and then when they saw the warehouse, they had a whole new appreciation for the work that you all do. So it was really good, yeah. Yesterday, I was at Vasquez High School to attend an assembly. The guest speaker was Jessie Clark Funk, who spoke to the student body on the subject of developing unshakable emotional intelligence. And we paid for this. We paid for the guest speaker to come. The request was made in the spring. We approved it in the spring. There wasn't enough time to schedule her because it got too close to the end of school. So that's why, because we are just actually now starting our grant cycle. We follow kind of a 10-step cycle, and step 10 is to look back and see what worked and what you need to improve on. And so we did that, and we revised our forms, we streamlined our process. I have to look at my notes so I don't leave anything out. We are focusing, we have some guidelines that we follow in terms of the grants that we give. We honor the confidentiality of the applicants. We're really committed to fairness. We want excellence both from ourselves and from the participants. The grants are all project-based. So we're looking for top quality projects that are really gonna improve something, the lives of somebody or something in the Acton community, or beyond. We're looking at efficiency, and I think we have a pretty efficient process now. So we'll see. We're having our big meeting tomorrow, and when I get to the next part, you'll know why I'm worried about efficiency. And then the final guideline is transparency. It's not like secret stuff. So with that said, I mentioned that we made improvements. Just a quick overview. We have 2 grant seasons, one in the fall, and that's what we're working on now, and then we'll have another one in the spring. It's project-based, the people need to apply, and this year we have a rubric that we're using to score so that we are really, truly looking at and being as fair as we possibly can and considering the best use of our money. The reason I really wanted the principals to visit the shop was I was thinking when we make awards, whether it's the scholarships or anything else, if we give $100, the work that you all put in is way more than $100 worth of work, way more. And I wanted them to appreciate that. And so that's, again, why we are really, really focused on making the best decisions that we can using our new rubric and our new guidelines. We have 15 applicants. We have available for awards $6,000. The request total $21,000. So it's going to be hard to narrow them down. We have 9 from the schools and 6 from the community. So we're excited moving forward. Is there any questions or comments? Yes.
I would appreciate knowing who gets these awards. And I think I understand how the committee works, and you've explained it nicely a couple of times. But I'm interested in who is benefiting from our
I'm sorry I
hard work.
didn't bring the list. Do any of you guys have the list of the recipients from last year?
Yeah, but let's just announce the ones we give out, not
Yeah.
send an email
Yeah.
fly. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just, we will make sure we have.
Next meeting.
Yeah.
As a member, we should know where our money is going.
Absolutely. And that's part of our new plan, actually, to be, I talked about transparency. We want you all to know we have plans for making the community aware with advertising and notifications in the shop, as well as local publications. So, point well taken, Sandy.
Do you want it?
You have the list of who we gave last year? Oh, yeah.
Well, she has done it several times in the past.
Yeah.
I know she has. You want it, oh, you have it. I thought you
Maybe I didn't
Here it is.
And I would recommend another thing that's kind of related to that.
On my new phone. That's just that, you know how.
Oh,
we fill it
perfect,
out.
yes, okay. So we started, we gave, and I'm not gonna give, I'm just gonna say who we gave awards to, not the amount or anything. To the Canyon Coyotes 4-H, Friends of the Library, the Vasquez Track Team, Sierra Youth Sports, Meadowlark PTO, Santa Clarita Food Pantry, Agua Dulce Acton Senior Club, High Desert Boosters, Acton Illegal Dumping, Acton Community Center, Meadowlark PTO, iLead PTO, which is the charter school in Agua Dulce, Acton Rangers, Acton Algodose Art Council, the, a fundraiser for Pitt Hopkins. I mentioned the illegal Vasquez High School PTO, High Desert Hawkettes, and then I mentioned Jesse Clark. We also funded support for a special reading program for struggling readers at Meadowlark. And the end of school, we paid for a walk through history for fourth graders at High Desert, where they, it was the American Revolution was the theme, and they came to the school and they did it as classes. And then the final thing, we funded a Living Voices, which was the presentation on women's suffragette, and that was at the at High Desert and at the library for the community, and then at Vasquez High School it was Through the Eyes of a Friend, which is a presentation on the Holocaust. So
That's from the beginning?
No,
that's from last year. Yeah.
So I just would like to say, because I'm on the committee a lot, that was a lot of people to fund, and we don't hardly have that, what do you call it? You know, bracket of money to spend this year by any means, and it's kind of sad because we just, you know, we did really great last year funding these. These were projects that the community was invited to, the whole high schools went to, the grade schools went to, it was for the future, and we did a really good job, I think, so.
I agree, yeah. So any other questions?
Oh, maybe you could explain the one that Janet kind of, people didn't seem to understand what the last one just was that you went to yesterday.
Oh, it was a guest speaker at the high school. It was an assembly in the gym. She flew in from Utah to make this presentation. She speaks all over the country. She talked to the kids about emotional intelligence, really focusing on making it personal and identifiable. She really got the kids engaged. She started out by, they sang together. Some of the kids got up and danced. They got really charged up. And then she talked about that we're in charge of the talk in our head. And we can either let it bring us down. She says she calls her inner voice Larry. And she says, "Shut up, Larry. I don't believe you. I'm a good person. I can do this." So she made it really fun. And the kids, I mean, she said, "Let's do this." I don't know what the songs were, because the acoustics are not that good in the gym. But she had all the kids, you know, doing this, and so it was. They enjoyed it, and I think it was money well spent. I want to back up just a minute. She talked about her personal experience when she was going into middle school. Her family moved, or at any rate, she changed schools and was going to a different school where she didn't know anybody. And she was really nervous the first day of school, and she saw her best friend there, Regina. And she's so excited, and I thought I was gonna be all by myself. And she ran over and said, "Oh, Regina, I'm so glad to see you." And Regina says, "We're not friends anymore." And Regina had a new best friend, and so Jessie became the target of their bullying, and so she made it really personal where the kids could relate to it. And then she talked about her reaction to being bullied was to become a bully. And she was suspended from school 4 times, 2 in school and 2 out of school. And see, I remember all this, and I know the kids do. And the 5th time, the principals, brought her into the office and said, "Look, what's going on? We got to do something different." And so he really let her know that he cared, and ended up making arrangements for her. To go to a special summer camp which focused on emotional health and well-being. And so this experience for the kids was something that there were things that they could take and try right now, and they really seemed to connect with it. So I think that the money that we spent was well spent. I can't even imagine how many hours went into funding it, but I know it was a lot, and I thank you for the kids and for the schools. So, okay.
The Women's Club is helping me sponsor it. We can't go through the parks through the normal system. The Women's Club does not want to be a partner with the parks, so I'm doing the trunk or treat. But we have the funds here to help with this, so trunk or treat applications are out. It's on October 31st. Setup's at 3:30 if you want to, 3:30, 5:30 if you want to bring a truck or car. If you want to get a picnic table or a bench, you can set that up. Applications are out. I'm sorry to put the flyers around the thing. It's free for the community and stuff, so we just want to get the word out to kids. I think last year we probably had 1,000 kids there. It was wonderful, so.
Is there a cost to have a table or a truck?
No, no cost. We want you, each truck has to bring like 600 pieces of candy. The Women's Club, that's over $800 in extra candy, so there's plenty of candy. We keep passing out to all the trucks, so there's plenty going on. We need help, so there's a sign-up sheet if you guys want to help that day, doing the setup and stuff, giving out candy and just organizing, because we're spreading out the park. Besides the parking lot, we're using the basketball court, and now we're using that dirt lot past the basketball court, because we got so crowded last year. And then hoping people will pick up even the benches and the picnic tables, they can use it too, okay? So applications are here, it's an email address, my phone number, and it's my daughter does this through Acton Events team events. There's a website, so we're doing that, okay? So sign up if you guys want to help us that day. Okay, questions? Community Service Awards. We have 3 nominees for our Community Service Award, and each one who was a nominee person, their person here is going to actually read the announcements, and then I'll pass out the ballots. So the first one is Acton Rangers. I'm doing alphabetically, so it's no one's first or second, it goes alphabetically. So I do have a microphone up here. Do you want to stand up or?
Oh, I don't think anybody needs a microphone for my voice. Kathleen, Joanne, and I nominated the Acton Rangers, so I'll give you a little bit of information about them. Oh, I need my glasses. The Acton Rangers were established in July of 1978. They've been serving the youth and community of Acton for over 46 years. They are a total volunteer member. Every member is a volunteer. They're known for their gymkhana competitions. None of you have, I know most of you know them, but some of you might be new to the community. They do gymkhana competitions in the Vincent Hill Arena, over by Vincent Hill. They have 2 different series of competitions with classes to cater to individuals with very skilled levels. All contestants compete in 6 different timed events with extra encouragement for the younger riders. And it's really cute. If you've been to a gymkhana, you'll see the Rangers out with the little kids. Some of them start at 3 and 4 years old, and they'll be out in the arena, and the Rangers will be helping them go through and learning their events. It's really adorable. They have awards including saddles, buckles, plaques, and trophies that are presented to the overall winners of the season in November when they have their overall awards event. In past years, the gymkhanas were held in the Acton Community Club Arena, right down here. For years it was held right down here. And at the same time, these gymkhanas supported the Acton Lions Club breakfast, which I was very much a member of for many, many years. My husband and I, we did the breakfast, and the Rangers would all come up and gather and do the breakfast. I have so many fond memories of all the times we had such great times. They also, at the time, did and still do maintain that arena. And if you were ever down in the arena, you'll see that they did boards with family members. We have our own family name down on those boards. Yeah, I think everybody has maybe one of those. They also participate in the 4th of July parade, and if you've ever been part of that, you would probably been sprayed by the rangers, and maybe, yes, you've been sprayed.
Here they participated in the AWC.
Oh, yes, they did, they participated in that one also.
Without being able to put water out.
Oh. Yes, I heard they were doing no water in that one. Anyway, and they do their favorite shootout at the beginning of the parade, so that is they're a wonderful organization, and I hope you will vote for them because they've been around for years and they're so excited, huh? Oh, if you want to see what they've done, they have a whole cabinet over here, and I was talking to all of them. They are so excited about being nominated, and they really, really would love the honor. So I think they would appreciate it. Thank you guys for.
Okay, the second nominee is Canyon Coyote 4-H, and that's Yvonne.
We have a mic. Oh,
Mrs.
I think I can project. Yeah, Mrs. Roper can project. So good morning, I think, yeah. So I wrote an application for the Canyon Coyote Storage Group, and the reason I did that is because I knew nothing about them. I mean, I knew they were here, but I didn't know really anything about them.
They can't hear you.
Oh, all right.
So either the middle or the mic. Yeah. Mrs.
How
Roper.
about just right here? Is that okay? My ring, geez. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I did the application because I wanted to know about this organization. And I learned a lot, speaking to the four of the adult mentors, the leaders of the group. And they also were very, very honored to be considered by the Women's Club, you know, for all the work that they've done these many years. So, I'll read you my letter. I would like to submit this letter of recommendation for the Canyon Coyotes 4-H group to be considered for our 2025 Community Service Award. According to the National 4-H website, 4-H is America's largest youth development organization empowering nearly 6 million young people with the skills to go beyond the expected, to be beyond ready. Here in Acton, Upper Dulce, the Canyon Coyotes 4-H group enabled youth to emerge as leaders through hands-on learning, research-based 4-H youth programs, and adult mentorship. Children and young adults ages 5 to 19 participate in a myriad of activities. They learn and practice skills which will help them in life to reach their goals. Established here in 1966, thousands of children and young adults have learned invaluable life skills through their involvement in the Canyon Coyotes 4-H program. Currently, there are about 50 children actively participating and about 20 adult volunteers in the program. The group is self-supporting and has various fundraisers throughout the year to meet their funding needs. Canyon Coyotes 4-H program is open to any child. The members can explore, learn about, and get hands-on experience in raising their own livestock and bringing them to fair, as well as many other interests such as food preservation, food and nutrition, sewing, fiber arts, gardening, computer skills, gun safety, photography, resume writing, interviewing skills, and much more. Through the 4-H program, children learn communication skills and are expected to share their experiences with others through oral and written communication. Leadership is a big part of 4-H, and participants have opportunities to run for various offices. 4-H officers run meetings, plan projects, take minutes, prepare budgets, and handle all of the club's financial responsibilities independently with minimum oversight from adult volunteers. Children in the program have many opportunities to learn discipline and responsibility. Raising livestock is one of them. Children are expected to care for the livestock as well as report all the costs, including food, vet costs, and other items needed to bring an animal to fair. This teaches children responsibility, accountability, and record keeping. Children do not need to raise livestock, however, to benefit from the many other opportunities to learn leadership and discipline. Through this program, many children have experienced success with awards for livestock, sewing, food preservation, and other fair entries. Canyon Coyotes 4-H program participates in Kids Feeding Kids. This is a program in which our Canyon Coyotes teach other children who may not have access to animals and livestock about farm animals. 4-H kids teach the children about the animals and how they are cared for. They learn where their food comes from. The livestock are brought to fair for competition, and the meat is donated back to local food banks.
Our local 4-H group encourages civic-minded projects. A few such projects and volunteer opportunities 4-H has participated in are making and distributing pillowcases to various organizations, making and distributing fidget mats for seniors, making and donating personal care bags with toothpaste, soap, and other items to Grace Resources. They planted 800 trees at the Painted Turtle, a camp for children with serious medical conditions located in Lake Hughes, and made lap blankets for campers. The Canyon Coyotes volunteer each year at the Agua Dulce Women's Club Parade of Tables, directing traffic. They also have been picking up trash on Soledad Canyon Road for many years. They volunteer to carry the banners in the Acton Parade and volunteer at the Acton Dulce Parade running the games. In the past, they helped each year with the Lions Club wrapping Christmas gifts and donating presents. They have participated in multiple jacket and clothes drives for the LA Mission and Operation Christmas Child. They helped with re-roofing of the Agua Dulce Women's Club roof. I believe that this group teaches important life skills, preparing our children for life, and they are very deserving of your consideration for our 2025 Community Service Award.
Teach all of you how to use a microphone, one by one, so we can all better hear in this room. It's not the best. I am reporting, I am nominating Sierra Youth Sports. I nominate Sierra Youth Sports for our Community Recognition of the Year Award 2025. Little League, as it was originally called, was established at least 35 years ago. There were not enough fields to accommodate all of the teams as they were playing on random fields in Acton and Agua Dulce. Steve Miller, who some of you may remember and knew, was the original owner of Acton Auto Parts, worked with the county to use the vacant land next to the rehab center and created an agreement between LA County and Sierra Little League for use of the land for $1 per year. Construction of the fields then began. The creation of the fields was a community labor of love. Parents and local businesses donated hours of time, labor, and funds. There were many fundraising events, from jogathons, batathons, candy sales, and dance parties at the Acton Community Center, featuring Captain Cardiac and the Coronaries, thanks to Chuck and Sherry Mercier. This is where Sierra Youth Sports comes into the picture. In 1990, Little League had a program up to 12 years old. And our community had many children aging out, but still interested in playing organized baseball. The board implemented pony baseball for players aged 13 and up, and girls softball was added. Along the way, the name was changed to Sierra Youth Sports with the idea of building a youth sports program to eventually include soccer at the same location. Currently, there are programs of softball and baseball for boys and girls from age 3 to 14 years, with different seasons scheduled for each. There are approximately 150 in the fall program, 170 kids in the spring. Each child pays to play with outside help if needed. It is a program with a committed board and group of parents serving both Acton and Agua Dulce. There are now adults, and some of you, Nancy's son, for example, there are now adults who played in the program, who have children in the program, and are volunteering in the program now. Over the years, the teams won awards and championships. Playing in our league helped shape the two-time All-Star Major League Baseball pitcher and World Series champion, Robert "Bobby" Jenks, from 2005 to 2011. Some volunteer names you will recognize from the early days: Sherry and Chuck Mercier, Jackie and Steve Smith, John and Lori Hickman, Steve Miller, Don and Lori Henry, Lynn Witt, Joe Perez, Richard and Annette Anderson, and currently Amy Goodman, who is president of the board, Nick Goodman, and Nate Goodman. I should have made this bigger. Nate Goodman and Nick Kunis, Sandy's son, who are coaches. I am honored to nominate this vibrant program serving our youth over all these years. It truly takes a village to create and maintain something so strong and so lasting. I am very proud of our community. Thank you.
There's a ballot box over there. Please mark your,
Over where?
no, there's a white box right there on the membership table.
Okay.
You spot in it, so take your ballot over there.
What? Well, let's just pull that.
Just pick one.
Pick one.
In the women's club. No, actually, when we kick these beds to the curb, I'm gonna join the women's club.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. And I'd like to say thank you guys for all you do for the community and have been doing for years and years. I've lived here 33 years, and I see what you do for our children at the schools and all of our community groups, and I really appreciate it, and don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. So, also Sandy. Oh, sorry. Thank you for always being generous with the community club whenever I have needed it or asked for it.
That's why we're here.
But you've always been amazing, and I really appreciate it, so thank you. And I want to thank my sidekick, Lainey Clevenger, for all her support and all her help through the last 2 years, because 2 years of fighting this mess, and we're not done yet. But she's been such a big help, so thank you, Lainey. Okay, does anybody in this room not know what a BESS is? Don't be afraid to answer. You don't, okay. It stands for Battery Energy Storage System, okay? And these facilities are built to accept energy from the grid and store it during the time of day when it's not needed. So mostly the grid is being overloaded with new green energy from wind turbines and from solar farms. So this is extra power that's coming onto the grid, and if they can store it into batteries and then call upon it later in the day when everybody comes home and switches their air conditioner on at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, then that's the purpose they serve, is to then inject that power back to the grid when it's needed. So they are a necessary, they're a necessary thing to have, but we don't necessarily want them here. And the reason why we don't want them here, there's a couple reasons. One reason is because they're industrial. We are in a rural community. People come here to have animals, horse rescues, animal rescues, raise their children, have beautiful vistas, Sierra Pelona. We don't come here to look at miles and miles of battery containers that are like freighting containers. And I'll get to more on that, but that's not why we come to Acton and not why we've ever been wanting to live in Acton. So that's one reason. And the other reason is the batteries that are within these containers are fire prone and they're toxic when they burn. And they contain hydrogen gases like hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen cyanide, which are really deadly. So deadly that the firefighters will stand way back and they'll put water on everything but the batteries because they want the batteries to burn themselves out and burn as quickly as possible to consume what's in the battery. So the energy and the electrolyte and everything that's in the battery that can be toxic when it burns. It's better to let it burn itself out, because if you put water on it, you're only going to prolong the event, and you're also running the chance of taking some of those toxins down to the ground and then eventually into our groundwater. A lot of you are on wells. We don't need that. So I wanted to go into that we have currently, we have 3 potential BESS trying to come into Acton. The Humidor, the Prairie Song, and the Matai. The 400 million watt Humidor is east of Vincent Hill Arena, right next to it, right next to where the Rangers ride. It was approved in August of 2023, and SORT, which is Save Our Rural Town, and that's the director of that is Jackie Ayer. I'm sure you guys know Jackie. She filed a lawsuit against that approval on September 19th, 2023, so a month after the approval. The county
did its best to drag this out. There's a franchise agreement that had to be adopted by the county for all the approvals to be completed for this project. And the judge wanted to wait until all that was done until he moved forward with our lawsuit. So once the county realized that they could stall this by not putting that franchise agreement in front of the Board of Supervisors, that's exactly what they did. So we went on for about a year, waiting for the franchise agreement to go before the Board of Supervisors, and it finally did, and of course it was adopted like nobody's business. Even though I took a busload of residents there, and we made our comments and wore our shirts, and they listened, but not really. Anyway, they voted, and the franchise agreement was adopted, and then the judge finally moved forward with our trial date and set it for July 17th of this past summer. And just prior to the July 17th trial date, we were invited to mediation with the developer. And Jackie and I and our attorney spent 18 hours going back and forth with the developer and LA County Council, trying to find any common ground, but we didn't. So we went to trial, and we were very encouraged by what the judge said during the trial. He, however, did not rule that day. He had a very full docket. He didn't want to rush his ruling. So he gave himself 90 days to rule. The 90 days are coming up on October 15th, so we've got 2 more weeks, and then we should get a ruling. We were extremely encouraged by what we heard, and the developer was extremely discouraged by what he heard. So we're hoping that we're going to prevail in this case. Pretty sure, but it's not over till the fat lady sings, and I am not singing yet. So anyway, trying to keep notes here so I stay on task. The Prairie Song now is a project that's 1,150 million watts. It's going to cover 70 acres with batteries that'll be stored in 2,035 containers. So picture 2,035 shipping containers covering 70 acres of our A1 and A2 land. And then there's another 30 acres that'll be dedicated toward their own little substation. This project starts at Melinta Avenue, and for those of you who aren't familiar where Melinta is, if you're on the 14th freeway and you're heading to Palmdale, when you look to your left and you see the Golden West trailers, if you immediately look to your right, the other side of the freeway, that's about where the project is going to be starting. And then it'll follow you north along Soledad. It eventually crosses over to the other side of Soledad and runs between Soledad and Carson Mesa. So it's very large, and it's right next to the freeway, and it's actually pinning several residents up against the freeway. They'll have the best in their front yard and the 14 freeway in their backyard on Tortuga Avenue. So it's not a good location. That's all ag land. It's all agriculture zoned. We think that there's language in the zoning code that prohibits energy storage devices in A1 and A2, but we might have to go to court to negotiate that with the judge. So we'll see. It's not fun, but we have to do it. The project runs all the way up past Forreston Drive, if you're familiar where Forreston Drive is. So it's quite large. It's going to affect a lot of people in the Forreston area, Kentucky Springs area. Technically, it affects everybody in the East Acton area. And it will finish out just below where the Humidor is. The Humidor is just north of that. So now that's 2 projects. That's a 400 megawatt and a 1,150 megawatt. Now there's a 3rd project. The 3rd project is called Matai, and it is going to be located just east of our Vincent substation, our big substation. So there's a 40-acre parcel there, also zoned A2. That's where the developer is proposing it. This is the same developer that is trying to build the Humidor. They had a meeting back in August. They held it at the AV College, which I couldn't understand why they picked that location. It was terrible. But I managed to get 100 people there. And we all wore our Acton shirts or our black. And I think we intimidated them. I really do. I think that all the showing of solidarity, and the meeting was run very poorly. There was little opportunity for us to really engage with the panel that was there. The moderator was horrible, treated us like school children. She's never welcome in Acton again, as far as I'm concerned. But it really showed that on a weeknight at 6 o'clock at night, on freeway with construction, rush hour traffic, I got 100 people there. And that showed those developers how much we do not want their project. So, and this is the same developer that is trying to get the humidor passed in court, which I think we're going to beat their pants. So, that's the third one. I honestly don't believe that project will come to fruition. It's supposed to be built in, they're shooting for 2033. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I just have a gut feeling. I've spoken with the CEO and I just have a feeling that it ain't gonna happen. Anyway. Going back to the Prairie Song, the big one, it's 3 times the size of the humidor. When you add up the Prairie Song, the humidor, and the 200 megawatts that would go for the Matai if it was built, you're looking at more than half of what would be stored in Diablo Canyon or San Onofre nuclear power plants. It's an incredible amount of stored energy. It does not belong in our community. I don't think, does anybody think it belongs in our community? I don't think it belongs in our community. The Prairie Song chose to get their approval not through LA County, but they choose to go to the CEC, that's the California Energy Commission. They have a streamlined process up there that's supposed to help get these projects through. But luckily, it's a very thorough process, way more thorough than LA County was, trust me. And the Prairie Song filed their application at the end of June, and the CEC had to give a determination as to whether their application was complete. If they had all the information they needed, once that application is complete, then the project can move forward under the approval process. Well, they did not find the application to be complete, which I was thrilled about. There was a lot of stuff missing. And one of the things that is required of that project to move forward is an executable and binding agreement with community benefit. So what that is they have to have a written signed agreement that would stand up in court to donate to a community group, such as the Acton Women's Club, or Friends of the Library, or our school system, or Sierra Sports, or the Acton Rangers. So, of course, I had everybody on speed dial. I was like, no, don't take any donations from somebody you don't know. And it's a really hard thing for me to ask you to do that, because I know that everybody thrives on donations that are in these charitable groups. But that $500 or whatever they have offered you would be literally throwing our community under the bus. And we would be opening the door for those projects to just bust right on through. So it's not going to be what stops the projects, because I'm sure eventually they'll get some sort of a qualifying contract. They're going after a labor group in Orange County, Los Angeles labor group. And I'm like, well, what does that have to do with Acton? I mean, if you're gonna donate, I would think it would have to be for an Acton group, like a local group. And this is what Jackie Ayer is fighting for, that if you're going to make a community benefit agreement, it needs to be local. And we also want it to be transparent, which means we would prefer to have our community groups represented in one room and sit down and talk about what this developer would like to offer, and so that everybody is aware of what's on the table, rather than the backdoor deals, it was being rolled out as a backdoor deal. People were getting emails saying, hey, if you'd like to meet, here's some dates we can meet with you, and it was kind of a one-on-one thing. We don't go for that, because that's dividing our community up, and we stick together. Our community sticks together. So after that application is deemed complete with all the information it's required to put in. The expedited process with the CEC takes about 270 days. Now, this includes an environmental impact report. So, I mean, that's the one difference between what the CEC does versus what LA County does. LA County didn't do any of that. LA County approved the humidor as if it was a fence on a property, like the same kind of approval, no consideration, no safety approvals, no nothing, which is why we were up in arms. So that is a much better deal at the CEC, and the developers really don't want to go to the CEC because they see it's a more stringent process. That prairie song will be the largest BESS in the nation if it's built, right here in Hampton. The lithium iron phosphate batteries that it uses are more safe than lithium ion, but they're still not. They're safer, I should say. They are safer than lithium ion, but they are not safe, and there's a big difference. Let's see. The bottom line is that the batteries are the main issue, because if there was a fire, I trust that our fire department would put the fire out in a timely manner. I do believe that they could control the fire, unless, of course, it happens during one of our wildfire crazy events, and the winds are blowing, and then all bets are off. But the residents that live in that area have very little egress, and it's all on dirt roads. And then it's like, well, how do you evacuate 9 horses, senior horses? How do you evacuate 15 donkeys? How do you get out a kennel full of dogs? I mean, it's going to be such a hardship on those people. And if there's a battery fire, the chances of them closing the freeway are very strong. The chances of them shutting down the metro rail, the Metrolink, very strong. And they would have to probably do an evacuation of, it could be a 2-mile radius, or if the wind is blowing with any strength, they would focus on anybody downwind of the event. If that wind is blowing north, the AV's looking at it, and the AV hasn't paid attention to any of this. I don't even know if they know it exists. And I only fight battles for my community, so. If it was blowing south, southwest, or west, then Acton has got issues. So we don't want that to happen. Anyway, we don't want the batteries that they're using, but even if they used a safe technology, because now the developer is, even though I've asked him over 2 years several times, to consider a safer battery technology, they didn't want to entertain it, they didn't want to discuss it. Well, I want to discuss it, so I discussed it with LA County. But the developer didn't want to discuss it. But now they want to discuss it, and at this point, I don't want the humidor under any circumstance, because it's industrial. And it will industrialize and change the whole character of that part of our town. So whether they go into a safe battery chemistry or they don't, I'm anti-BESS, I'm sorry. Call me selfish, but I don't want that for my community. So does anybody have any questions? I'm sorry.
Whatever, the replacement for Garcia, is he helping at all?
Oh, George Whiteside's?
Yeah.
I had a good phone conversation with George before he was elected. Because he came into office right when all the Palisades fire and everything was going down, I kind of backed off and left him alone, because he was up to his eyeballs and that stuff. But I have a good relationship with George. I've thought about reaching out to him. He's very big on trying to solve the wildfire issue in California. That's kind of a pet project of his, and that he kind of campaigned on that. So I think he's very interested. He was very receptive on the phone when we talked, and it was very humorous, because George spent 20 years being the CEO of NASA or something like that, and then went to Virgin Galactic for several years. And here I was, the old retired hairdresser, schooling him on BESS. And we were laughing because even though he's familiar with battery chemistries, and he knows lithium's batteries, but he's never been familiar with those type of batteries in a large grid scale application where there's millions and millions of watts. So Yeah, I think George would be supportive. At this point, I don't know what he could do to help us, but Mike Garcia was extremely helpful.
And Catherine Barger has done care, she's turned out, correct? Was she turned out?
It's turned out.
She voted yes with the other 4 supervisors when she could have voted no, and it wouldn't have changed anything, but it would have shown us some good faith.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed. I've always supported her, but I truly feel that our supervisors do not understand BESS and the dangers. I truly feel like LA County Regional Planning, when they approved the humidor, that they did not understand the dangers associated. They do now, and I make sure that everything I get my hands on, I send to LA County, to the team, I get a receipt. And so they're building the renewable energy ordinance update, and they're building the best siting ordinance. And I'm making sure that they're getting everything that talks about dangers or events, fire events, new data on battery chemistries. I'm giving all that to them. So they're way more informed now, and I think they realize after the Moss Landing incident, I don't know if you're ever familiar with Moss Landing, but it's up in Northern California on the coast. It was a BESS that was built in 2021, and they had a couple events that caused evacuations, but they were completely minor compared to what happened in January. January 16th of this year, just following the Palisades and the Eaton fires, they had a huge fire up at that BESS facility at the PG&E plant in Moss Landing. And that thing took off and burnt for several days, and it reignited a month later. But the big news was the wind was blowing, and it blew inland, not to the water. It wasn't blowing to the coast, but it was blowing inland. And it traveled 20 miles. People 20 miles away were feeling toxicity. They were feeling the burning in their throats, in their nose, their eyes. People were waking up with nosebleeds, feeling sick. There's a mass tort lawsuit that's been filed, and Aaron Brockovich is on board. So it shows you how high profile the incident was. But the wind was blowing strong, and it blew that toxic plume right in. 1,500 people were evacuated for days. So it was a big deal. And then there's an environmental area near the facility called the Elkhorn Slough, and that has been tested, and it shows really high elevations of heavy metals, which the type of lithium battery that was burning in that facility had nickel, manganese, and cobalt, and those metals were found in the Elkhorn Slough, which will get into the mollusks and the oysters, and then they'll be eaten by the sea lions and the otters, and the cycle just perpetuates, so it's bad.
Ruthie, if I understand right, when this first started, we don't even get any electricity from these things. Is that
No.
still true?
That's very true.
Okay, and what can people in the town do to help support you?
Well, that's what I wanted to say is I'm going to leave my email information.
Use the microphone.
I'm sorry, I'm going to use my email information and leave it with Nancy. If you would like to help, what you can do now is you can email me, and then I will send you the link for the CEC docket for the Prairie Song. And there's a comment page, and all you do is click on the link. It takes you to the comment page. You put in your name, your email. You can opt to put in your address or not. I would put in Acton and the zip code, and then you make a comment, and then you hit submit, and that's it. It's very easy. You can do it in 5 minutes, and you could make it simple and say, I don't believe these belong in our community. I'm fearful. I'm afraid I'm not going to get fire insurance. I'm afraid my house won't be sellable. This will take our rural community and industrialize it. There's all kinds of things you can point to, and I will help you with that if you need help with that. But we need to flood that CEC docket with comment letters. before the public comment period, that there will be a public comment period, and they will come here to act, and likely it'll be in this room, they'll ask to use this room. And it'll be from 9 in the morning to probably 9 at night, and you can come in person and make your 1-minute comment, or you can call and do it by phone, or you can submit a written comment too. So, but we do need written comments now, and if you think it doesn't help, I've seen what happened in another project where the fire department was sitting down with the developer and the CEC, and the fire chief said, we have ferocious opposition to this project. Now, this wasn't our project, this was another project, but I watched those too. And it said, we have ferocious opposition to this project, and it's worth noting. So, we need to have ferocious opposition to this project and make it worth noting, so that when our firemen sit down with the CEC and discuss the Prairie Song, that it's all on the table how this community feels about that project. So, we do not receive power directly from these projects. The developers would like you to believe that during a PSPS event, a public safety power shutoff that Edison does during the high wind events, they would like you to think that, oh, well, we're gonna help you with that power. We're gonna have that in the batteries for you. But no, because all the lines that they would have to use to bring that power to you are de-energized by Edison for safety. So, hello, but they don't know that we're not stupid. They think we're stupid. And let me see, Jackie is an environmental engineer. She ain't stupid. And I'm a hairdresser, but I've spent 2 years studying electrical engineering and battery chemistry, and I'm not stupid either. So, you know what? They can't pull the wool over our eyes. They look at the 2 gray-haired old ladies and they think, oh, this is going to be easy, but nope, not easy. So that power goes to the grid itself. When it does get injected to the grid, it would go to the grid. And yes, we might, through osmosis, get a little trickle of it coming to Acton, but there is no way they can direct that power directed to us. We are not going to directly benefit from the power of that grid.
So just curious, like RX Paris, you know, he's like in the AV, isn't he? Like he's always on board with things. Has he ever been contacted, or this is a redundant thing, probably I'm saying?
From what I know, Lancaster City and Palmdale are very pro battery projects because of the revenue. These are big money makers, guys. $2.5 million will go from the humidor, $2.5 million in tax revenue will go to LA County. Not to Acton, not to Acton. No, we get $250 per megawatt a year from the humidor project. That's what they've pledged to us, which is about $100,000 a year. So for the whole community to use somehow, right? That's what they've pledged. But $2.5 million goes to LA County. And LA County is hurting for money right now for several reasons. Fires, homeless, immigrants. There's a lot of projects that they need money for, so they will be welcoming that money if they can get their hands on it. And that's why I don't believe that they want to look at the big picture, look at the safety profile, look at what our community would be subjected to. I want to believe that they're not stupid supervisors, but sometimes I don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. All I can think is that they don't understand the technology. They don't understand the true safety issues, and they don't want to believe that it can be a risk. But when you see what happened at Moss Landing, hello, blinking light, that is like a flashlight shining on a big issue. It was a pivotal point for the energy industry. And I would think that our county would start looking at these things differently, and we won't know how they're gonna look at them until the Renewable Energy Ordinance update draft comes out this fall. And once we see what their draft is going to say and how they're gonna screen these projects, we'll know a little bit more whether they give a darn or not.
Okay, it's the last question, okay?
I just want to make a statement because you mentioned RX Paris, and I don't know if you're aware. She's putting a huge, thousands of square feet building up at the fairgrounds for an evacuation plan.
What? For what?
Evacuation center?
Right
Where is this?
right next to the fairgrounds.
In case of what?
In case of something like this.
They've got three best projects right now being proposed for the AV. NENAC and Antelope Bakers and somewhere else out, I think in Lancaster, so it's coming.
Have you contacted Aaron Bakovich?
Yeah.
Yes?
I actually looked at her face to face on a Zoom meeting, and I wanted to say, why didn't you get back to me?
But, this was about Moss Landing. It was a meeting about Moss Landing, and I didn't want to try to shoehorn Acton into that meeting because these people were hurting and needed their time. But she never got back to me. I contacted her twice. There's no money in it for her at this point unless we as a community sue over an event that happens. Then there's money. And that's why she's involved in the Moss Landing one, because there's money, there's damages, so. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Birthday,
Let's let the president lead the meeting, go ahead.
Well, I forgot about it, so it's going to go on my list. Okay, so it's very close for the winner of the Community Service Award, Canyon Coyotes. Canyon Coyotes, was he on here? Vaughn, Canyon Coyotes won.
oh, thank you.
So you'll need to notify the winner for us.
Oh, yes,
I do need the other two nominees to be notified, but they do not.
I will let the ladies
Okay.
know.
Carry
Are
the
they,
reports.
are they
But they
ever
can
still invited?
apply.
And the other nominees still invited to lunch, I
They can come if they want to pay pay for lunch and stuff.
If they want to attend.
Again, we get nominated again next year too, so.
Sure.
Yeah, so something we can keep that out.
The birthdays that we are celebrating for this month goes to, we have Jane Klosterman and Sandy Matson, and Jane Garcia's not here, and Janet from last month. You're from August?
August.
Oh, cow.
You made me older than I am.
There you go. And a little treat. Is there anyone's birthday that I missed? Because I know Margaret Rucker isn't here. Her birthday too. Whoops. Miss Sandy. Here's it for you. Cutie pie. Oh, thank you.
Oh, there's your gift.
Here's your gift certificate for the store. Oh, yeah. I can go shopping. You can go shopping. Where's Jane? Here.
Jane is right there.
Jane is over there. She's sitting over to purchase a raffle ticket. Wait, before you do that, no, I just want to see why did anybody get a chance didn't get a chance?
Do you have anything else to say today?
There's good things. Just wanted to share, okay.
Annual Oktoberfest, and it's going to be held at the St. Mary's Church in Palmdale at 6 p.m. through 9 p.m. on October 25th. So if you're interested for a dinner and or raffle, please contact me or Jane.
What was the date again?
October 25th, Saturday night. They'll have a silent auction, raffle, dancing. We have a great band. And sorry. The Mary Baker's Band. We got the full band, so it's really fun. Yay! Okay, thank you.
Sponsored by the Community Center on October 17th. This gives the details. It's a cute little Halloweenish painting that we're doing with a ghost with a purple hat. So.
But it doesn't say how much it costs.
I know, it doesn't say how much it costs, and we never put that on. I don't know why you have to go to the.
You don't know how much it is?
It's like 40 or 40.
Something